As we start A.D.V.E.N.T today, what does the A stand for? A is for Advent, or anticipate, or await, or awake. A is for almost there, or arriving soon, or about to happen. A is for alertness, or awareness, or assurance, or attention. After last night, maybe A is for Auburn, Alabama. In case you missed this miraculous play, Auburn and Alabama were tied, 1 second left on the clock. Alabama goes for a field goal and misses, and the ball is returned 109 yards for a winning touchdown. It's a great Advent reminder to never give up hope, to never stop expecting great things to happen. But how did these scripture readings make you feel this morning? Anxious about Jesus' second coming? Apathetic, it's just one more Sunday? Angry that we can't know? Annoyed that we can't know? Assured that Jesus will come again, or afraid that Jesus will come again? Both and? On this Advent of Advent, we begin our new church year that we heard about last week from Pastor Alex with some seemingly strange readings. Both Isaiah and Matthew speak of a mysterious future time, anticipating worldwide changes. Isaiah anticipates people streaming to the highest mountain, the Lord's mountain, to learn from the Lord and to follow in the ways of the Lord. The Lord will then issue judgments, and even in spite of those judgments, there will be no more war. Weapons of war like spears will be turned into tools for farming like plowshares. Then in Matthew, Jesus compares his second coming to the events in Noah's life and speaks of some people being taken and some people being left behind, and that even the angels and Jesus don't know when all of this is happening, and that Jesus is like a thief in the night, so you better keep awake. What exactly does all that mean? Jesus, a thief? What, does Jesus steal our hearts in the middle of the night? And outside of references to angels, these two passages don't bear a lot of resemblance to what we usually think of at Advent time. Usually our heads and our hearts have fast-forwarded to a stable in Bethlehem and a star and a new baby boy. But maybe the anticipation of Advent is more than just getting excited for Christmas. Maybe it's more than just looking to the past in Bethlehem or looking to the future for the second coming. It's not an either or, but a both and. We are both anticipating the Christmas story once more and keeping awake as we hope for the future. And maybe for you, these passages from Isaiah and Matthew seem less strange when we take a few steps back and see the whole picture that they are trying to tell. They are connecting the God who was with the God who is and the God who will be. They are connecting the way things were with the way things are and the way things will be. These scriptures encompass looking to the past and looking to the future, all while firmly focused on the present time. And that's kind of the best way to start a new year, isn't it? Looking at the perspective from the past, the present, and the future. To look at what we have done, what we are doing, and what we will do. With Jesus mentioning Noah, we remember the past acts of salvation. We remember how God has delivered us time and time again. Then Jesus refers to our current everyday life. Eating, drinking, being in relationship, tilling of the fields or grinding the meal, which today might look like our 9-to-5 jobs, typing in a cubicle or wiping one more snotty nose or answering one more phone call. The way that God provides for us in the current moment. Finally, both Jesus and Isaiah allude to a future time where God will keep God's promises, where the peace and love of God's kingdom will reign over all of us. Jesus points to the preparation of our ancestors in order to exhort us to be prepared today and in the days to come. Jesus doesn't say, oh, the present doesn't matter, or oh, don't worry about the future. It's a both and. They both matter. And in both, we can find hope for today and for tomorrow. And I know the reality is that we live in a bit of a hopeless world. We look at the Black Friday/Thanksgiving fights, the inability to set aside consumerism and treat each other with decency. We look at the bills piling up and wonder where the money's going to come from. We look at the worldwide church growing smaller, and here in America seemingly more and more irrelevant. Which of these threatens your hope? Is it the past, the present, or the future? The answer for most of us at this time of year is the future. At Christmas, many of us carry anxiety instead of anticipation. We worry if the food will taste all right, if the family will stop fighting, or if everyone will even show up. We worry if we have enough money to get our kids the hottest tablet or to keep the lights on. We worry that the empty place where our husband used to sit will weigh too heavy on our hearts. Rather than anticipate the glee on our grandson's face when he sees the Christmas tree or becomes an Advent agent, we anxiously fret about our preparations. Are they enough? Are they okay? What have I forgotten? Can I somehow prepare for things I don't even know about? And then you come to church this morning and hear me give you something else new to worry about. Have we done enough for Jesus? Will we be taken up in glory, or will we be left behind? Will we be ready if Jesus shows up to our house tomorrow? Will Jesus care if our bed is made or the dishes are done? Will Jesus care if our prayers are unsaid, or if there is dust on our Bible, or if people are still in pain? Reverend Dr. John Burgess, a professor at Pittsburgh Seminary, described the ways these words of Jesus' unexpected coming, Judgment Day, are often understood. The first is as a corporate moment of rapture, like the Left Behind series, where some are taken away and some are not. Some pastors even try to predict the exact hour and day that this will happen, even as Jesus says that he doesn't know. And if the Son of Man, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, does not know the day or time of the second coming, then maybe we can stop trying to predict it. Maybe we can let go of that anxiety. A second way to understand this idea of Judgment Day is a moment at the individual's death where we will have to stand before God and account for our lives. But in this Matthew passage, the people are still living, going about their daily lives when this Judgment Day happens. If, in fact, Matthew's words aren't meant to predict a future specific place and time, if, in fact, Matthew's words aren't about the judgment we might face upon our death, if, in fact, Matthew's words are about how we live today, might be some time for some New Year's resolutions. Jesus could be saying that each day is a day of judgment, that we should always be examining ourselves. Are we following Christ today? As we continue our day-to-day work, have we been distracted from our hope, from our calling? Or are we being taught in the ways of the Lord? Are we walking in the path? And this is, of course, not just an individual examination. Is Trinity adequately prepared for Jesus to come again? Are we glorifying God, sharing Christ's love, and making new disciples? Are we trusting in and anticipating session spiritual leadership during this time of transition? Are we praying for and anticipating God's will to be done through our ministries? Are we not only offering acts of compassion, but also working for justice right here in Topeka? Another both and. Are we, as a corporate body, making a difference in this place to which God has called us? For in Matthew, Jesus is making a radical claim on our lives right now. A claim that while God is the one in charge and that God is at work, our work matters. While our preparations don't fix everything in this world, we are capable of making a difference. Eating, drinking, being in relationship, working, these things matter. Advent is about both anticipation and how that anticipation prompts us to live our lives. It's both and. It's a partnership with God because of Jesus Christ and his life, death, and resurrection. Jesus Christ, the Son of Man, who will judge on that judgment day. Is Jesus our judge, or is Jesus the one who took the judgment on the cross? Yes, it's another both and. And that is where our anticipatory hope should be in the past, present, and future. In Jesus Christ, our merciful judge. There will be a day of judgment, and maybe that's today and tomorrow. But the one acting as judge is the one who willingly submitted to death on a cross for us. Jesus will come in the night at an unexpected hour, and yet the new day has already dawned because of his resurrection and his victory over sin and death. Jesus is both our judge and our Redeemer. Jesus is both here now and will come again in the future.